This is a love story that I'm deeply grateful to be able to call my own. I've lived these words over the past 13 wonderful years and have loved every single minute of it. I never thought I would find someone like Tim, someone so caring, loving, and smart. So many paths in each of our lives we could have taken, but somehow we both chose the paths that led us to each other. And now, with hands grasped and great big smiles, we get to travel on this path together. So, this is our story. I was dating a girl at my retail job. Kind of. It was hard to know what she thought about me. We went bowling quite a few times and shopping some. I even invited her to join us for Christmas at my grandma's. But she was kind of hard to read. She was sweet to me in person, but would ignore my texts and act differently when we were with her friends. One night, I made plans to go to a movie with her at the local theater. She said she would just meet me there. Our theater was attached to the mall. I went in the main mall entrance and walked to the theater entrance and waited for my date. I sent her a text, but she didn't respond. I waited some more. The movie was going to start any minute, and with a slight feeling of defeat, I bought my ticket and went in by myself. I texted her once more, but still she didn't respond. So there I sat watching the movie all by myself. I really didn't enjoy it at all. I wasn't focused on the movie, but instead wondered what I did to be ignored. I know in the dating world there are many people that play little games with each other. I, though, had no interest in playing games. I felt that being nice to the other human you liked was simply the way to go. After the movie was over, I saw her walking out with her best friend. I didn't say anything and just walked out. It was unbelievable to me that she went to the movie I invited her to with her friend instead of me. To make matters worse, the theater had closed the theater mall entrance, so you could only exit through the theater, which was on the complete opposite side of the mall as my car. I walked out and started making my way around the entire mall. It was snowing hard outside like a blizzard. The snow fell fast and the wind stung my face. I just wanted to get to my car and go home. I was partway around the mall when a car drove past slowly. It was my date and her friend waving and laughing at me. Once they caught my attention, they sped off. At that moment, I was done. I was freezing and they just thought it was funny. Most of the time she seemed like a nice person, but she showed two different personalities, and this one I wanted nothing to do with. Throughout my life, I had tried dating, but every single person let me down in some way. One of the first girls I wanted to date in school said she wasn't interested in people her age because she had slept with older guys already. Another had to control everything that I did, like making a scene at a comedy show because they were one chair short for me and I didn't want to make an employee have to get me a chair. I didn't have much luck in the dating world when I was in school, and still didn't. One just has to laugh, I guess. Part of me thought that the idea of finding someone that loved me was just so surreal. I wasn't sure if anyone like that existed. I knew my grandma and brother loved me, but they were family. I wondered if anyone else would. Would I ever find someone? One night before bed, my brother and I chatted about the topic of dating. This was the first time I was ever honest about myself. My dating pool consisted only of women. I didn't actually think you could date men. It was so not allowed. I thought of it like everyone else did at the time, that to be gay was such a big sin. Everyone said so. Thinking about this today is kind of funny though, for many of the people screaming, "It's a sin," the loudest were also the ones committing the most sins themselves. Some people live to hate others in the name of God, like condemning others was their ticket into heaven, and the more judging they could do in their lifetime, the closer the seat they would have to God. I don't think that is what God had in mind for all of us with his teachings of love. Being gay was always such a joke to people too, and I didn't want to be made fun of. So, I only dated women. My brother told me he was interested in men and that he had been chatting with some online. This surprised me. I had no idea. I opened up about myself, telling him about a guy crush I had on someone from school. He didn't seem surprised to hear about me. This became a secret topic we talked amongst each other about. I still had no plans on actually dating a guy, but I started allowing myself to think about it. I worked at a small telemarketing place the first half of each day and then drove to my retail job in the afternoons/evenings. Though my brother was actively dating, I was focused on work and wasn't really looking for someone. I, of course, wanted someone, but it never seemed to pan out, so I kind of just forgot about it and got lost in my busy work life. Our days went on as usual. Working, coming home, and then finally, the weekend. I didn't have many weekends off, so when I did, it was an absolute blast. My brother and I would get our paychecks on Friday, and like any financially responsible human beings, we went straight into town to cash them and go shopping. We wandered through a store looking at candles. My brother wandered off. I went through the candle section shopping for a new candle I really didn't need. My brother came back. "So there's a guy that's interested in meeting you," he said. I just looked at him. "Okay," I replied in an unsure tone. "So do you want to go on a date with him?" my brother asked. "He lives in the cities, but we'll drive down tonight if you want to meet him." I was nervous. I didn't know what to say. I had never dated a guy before. "Where would he stay?" I asked. "At Grandma's," my brother responded. Honestly, I wasn't sure. I knew I wasn't supposed to even be thinking about this. The Christian world that I knew would have screamed no, but something about it felt like it was overwhelmingly right. I considered myself a Christian, and still do. I took a leap of faith and said, "Sure, okay." I look back at this moment today and think of how big of a decision it really was. It was a decision that would go on to lead me to a life and love larger than anything I could have ever imagined.